Hello, my friends. Today, I want to tell you the amazing story of a woman who started with nothing but a passion for makeup and turned it into a beauty empire worth billions. Her name is Huda Kattan. Huda's story is not just about makeup. It's about believing in yourself when no one else does. It's about taking risks, working hard, and never giving up on your dream. So sit back, relax, and get ready for a story that will inspire you and help you practice your English at the same time. Huda Kattan was born in 1983 in Oklahoma, USA. Her parents were immigrants from Iraq, looking for a better life for their children. She grew up in a big family with 3 siblings. Life was not always easy, but it was full of love and culture. As a child, Huda loved colors, fashion, and beauty. She would watch her older sisters do their makeup and try to copy them. Her mother often told her, "Huda, you can be anything you want, but you must work for it." Those words stayed with her forever. When she was still young, her family moved to Tennessee and later to Massachusetts. She was a shy girl at school, but when it came to art and beauty, her eyes would shine. She dreamed of becoming a makeup artist, but in her community, that didn't seem like a real career. Like many young people, Huda first tried to follow a safe and traditional career path. She studied finance at university because it sounded stable and respectable. After graduating, she even worked in finance for a short time. But something was wrong. Every morning, she woke up with no excitement for the day. Numbers and spreadsheets didn't make her happy. What made her happy was makeup, creating beauty, making people feel confident. One day, she asked herself, "Do I want to spend my life doing something safe or something I love?" It was a scary question, but the answer was clear. In 2006, Huda made a bold decision. She left her finance job and enrolled in a makeup school in Los Angeles. It was not easy. She had no idea if she could make a living from it. But she knew she had to try. In LA, she learned professional makeup techniques from some of the best artists in the industry. She discovered the power of transformation, how makeup could make someone not only look different but feel different. Huda was hooked. After finishing her course, she began working as a makeup artist. She did bridal makeup, fashion shoots, and even celebrity clients. Slowly, she was building her skills and her confidence. But she didn't know yet that her real breakthrough was still years away. After some time working in the United States, Huda's life took another big turn. Her family decided to move to Dubai, a city that was quickly becoming the heart of fashion and luxury in the Middle East. At first, Huda was unsure. She had built some contacts in the US makeup world, and moving meant starting over again. But she also saw an opportunity. Dubai was full of glamorous events, weddings, and high-profile clients. It could be the perfect place to grow her career. In Dubai, she began working as a professional makeup artist again. Her talent was undeniable, and soon she had a list of loyal clients. She worked on brides, models, and even royalty. People loved her skill, but also her warm personality. Huda didn't just do makeup. She made her clients feel special, confident, and beautiful. Still, she faced a problem. In 2010, social media was exploding, but in Dubai, the beauty industry was still catching up. There weren't many trusted beauty bloggers in the region. Huda noticed that women around her wanted advice on makeup and skincare, but they often relied on random online sources or expensive brand marketing. She thought, "Why not share my knowledge online?" One night, she sat down at her computer and created a blog. She named it Huda Beauty. At first, it was just a simple website where she posted makeup tips, product reviews, and tutorials. She wrote in a friendly tone, as if talking to a friend over coffee. She didn't try to sound like a big brand. She was just Huda, sharing her love for beauty. Her blog quickly started to grow. Women from Dubai, the Middle East, and even other parts of the world began reading her posts. They loved how real and honest she was. If she liked a product, she said so. If she didn't, she explained why. Her readers trusted her. Soon, she opened an Instagram account to share short makeup videos and beauty hacks. Back then, Instagram was still new, but Huda used it in a way that felt fresh and exciting. She showed quick tips, before and after transformations, and funny beauty experiments. Her personality shined through the screen, and people connected with her instantly. Huda's follower count started to explode. Within a few years, she had millions of fans watching her every post. But Huda was not satisfied with just being a blogger or influencer. She had a bigger dream, to create her own beauty products. At that time, many makeup brands didn't offer products that worked well for women in the Middle East. Lipsticks would fade too quickly, foundations wouldn't match the skin tones, and lashes weren't dramatic enough for the bold makeup looks popular in the region. Huda knew she could change that. She decided to take the next big risk of her life, and it all started with one single product. Huda thought carefully about what her first beauty product should be. She didn't want to launch a full line right away. She wanted to start with something simple but powerful, something that could make an instant difference to a makeup look. After a lot of thinking, she chose false eyelashes. At the time, good quality lashes were hard to find in Dubai. Most of them looked fake, felt heavy, or were uncomfortable to wear. Huda wanted to create lashes that were soft, light, and natural-looking, but still gave that glamorous, dramatic effect people loved. She worked with manufacturers, tested dozens of samples, and rejected anything that wasn't perfect. She used her own money and savings to produce the first batch. It was a big risk. If they didn't sell, she could lose everything. In 2013, Huda Beauty launched its first product, a collection of false eyelashes sold in Sephora Dubai Mall. On the first day, something incredible happened. The lashes sold out almost immediately. Word spread quickly. Makeup artists, influencers, and even celebrities started using Huda's lashes. One day, the famous reality star Kim Kardashian wore them, and overnight, Huda Beauty became an international name. Orders came in from all over the world. Huda was overwhelmed, but also excited. She knew this was just the beginning. The success of the lashes gave her the confidence to expand her brand. She started adding liquid lipsticks, eyeshadow palettes, foundations, and more. Her products weren't just makeup, they were experiences. The packaging was beautiful, the quality was high, and every item felt personal. Huda often tested everything herself and listened to her customers' feedback. If people wanted a new shade or a different formula, she worked to make it happen. But with success came challenges. Other brands started copying her ideas. Running a fast-growing business was stressful, and she often worked long hours. There were times when she felt exhausted and doubted herself. Still, she kept going. She reminded herself why she started, to help women feel beautiful and confident. And as Huda Beauty grew, so did her influence. She was no longer just a makeup artist or blogger. She was becoming one of the most powerful women in the beauty industry. But her biggest test was yet to come, turning a popular brand into a true global empire. Huda knew that if she wanted Huda Beauty to last, she had to think bigger than just Dubai. She wanted her products to be sold in every major city, in every top beauty store, and in the makeup bags of women all over the world. This meant expanding fast, but also staying true to her brand. She and her sisters, Mona and Alia, worked together as a team. Mona focused on marketing and building the brand's image online, while Alia helped manage operations. Huda concentrated on product development and connecting with her audience. It was a family business built on trust, passion, and endless hard work. Social media continued to be Huda's superpower. While many companies spent millions on advertising, she used Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook to speak directly to her fans. She showed behind-the-scenes moments, product tests, beauty tips, and even her own struggles. People felt like they knew her personally, and that made them trust her brand even more. In 2016, Huda Beauty launched in Sephora stores across the United States. The products sold out within hours. The same thing happened in Europe, Asia, and beyond. Beauty magazines called her the woman changing the makeup industry. But success didn't come without pressure. The competition was fierce and beauty trends changed quickly. Huda had to innovate constantly. New formulas, new shades, new packaging. She spent countless nights testing products, sometimes redoing them again and again until they were perfect. Her fans loved the authenticity. When a product didn't work out, she admitted it and promised to improve it. This honesty made her different from many other beauty CEOs. She wasn't just selling makeup, she was building a community. By 2018, Huda Beauty had become one of the fastest-growing beauty brands in the world. It was valued at over $1 billion. Huda was now officially a beauty mogul, featured on the covers of Forbes and Time magazine's list of the most influential people on the internet. Yet, despite the fame and money, Huda often reminded her followers where she came from. She talked openly about her humble beginnings, her failures, and her moments of self-doubt. She wanted people to see that success was possible for anyone who worked hard and believed in themselves. But while her business was at its peak, Huda began to feel a new challenge deep inside, balancing her brand's success with her own happiness and well-being. On social media, Huda's life looked perfect. She had a successful company, millions of fans, and the chance to work with the biggest names in beauty. But behind the scenes, the pressure was intense. Running a billion-dollar brand meant constant deadlines, endless meetings, and tough decisions. There were days when she felt so tired that she could barely get out of bed. Every new product launch had to be flawless. If something went wrong, the whole internet would talk about it. Huda began to realize that she was spending all her time working and almost no time taking care of herself. She loved her business, but she also felt the weight of responsibility on her shoulders. She was not just creating makeup anymore. She was leading a global company with hundreds of employees. At times, she doubted herself. She wondered if she could keep up with the fast-changing beauty industry. Other brands were copying her ideas, new influencers were rising, and trends were moving faster than ever. Instead of giving up, Huda decided to be even more honest with her followers. She started sharing the truth about the hard parts of her journey, the failures, the stress, and the moments when she wanted to quit. This made people love her even more. They saw that she was real, just like them. She also made changes to protect her well-being. She learned to say no to some opportunities, focused on projects she truly cared about, and spent more time with her family. Her daughter became a constant source of joy and reminded her why she worked so hard. Through all of this, Huda stayed committed to her mission, to make beauty inclusive, creative, and empowering. She wanted every person, no matter their background or skin tone, to feel represented in her products. But Huda wasn't finished yet. She had another vision, to turn Huda Beauty into not just a makeup brand, but a complete beauty empire that would inspire generations to come. Huda had already created one of the most successful makeup brands in the world, but she knew beauty was more than lipstick and lashes. She wanted Huda Beauty to be a full beauty experience, offering everything from skincare to fragrance, and maybe even wellness products in the future. Her first big step was launching a skincare line called Wishful. She created it because many of her followers were asking about her glowing skin and wanted to know her skincare secrets. Instead of just recommending other brands, Huda decided to create her own formulas, using ingredients she truly believed in. The first product, a gentle enzyme scrub, quickly became a favorite among beauty lovers. Next came perfumes. Huda teamed up with her sister Mona to create a fragrance line that captured the feeling of luxury and confidence. Each scent told a story, just like her makeup products. She also used her influence to speak out on important issues in the beauty industry. Huda promoted diversity in advertising, showed models with different skin tones and features, and challenged unrealistic beauty standards. She reminded her audience that makeup should be fun and empowering, not something that makes people feel insecure. Her brand began to inspire young entrepreneurs around the world. Many people saw her journey, starting as a blogger with a simple idea, and realized they could follow their own dreams too. Huda became not just a beauty mogul, but a mentor and role model for millions. Even as the company grew into a global empire, she stayed close to her audience. She continued posting personal videos, testing products on camera, and replying to comments. For Huda, success was not just about numbers, it was about connection. By now, Huda Beauty products were sold in more than 100 countries. From New York to London, from Paris to Sydney, her brand was everywhere. But Huda still felt the same excitement she had when she sold her very first lashes in Dubai. She knew her story was far from over, and the next chapter could be even bigger. With her brand thriving around the globe, Huda began thinking about how she could give back. She remembered the days when she was just starting out, unsure of herself, with no clear path to success. She wanted to help others avoid the mistakes she had made and to believe in their potential from the very beginning. Huda started mentoring young entrepreneurs, especially women in the Middle East. She spoke at events, appeared on panels, and shared her honest experiences, the victories, but also the failures. She told them that success wasn't a straight line. It was full of twists, wrong turns, and moments of doubt. What mattered was staying committed to the dream. She also began investing in small beauty and fashion startups. For Huda, it wasn't just about making money, it was about helping new voices enter the industry. She looked for founders who were passionate, creative, and willing to work hard, no matter how small their beginnings. At the same time, she used her massive online platform to highlight other talented creators. She shared their work, promoted their products, and encouraged her followers to support them. This generosity made her stand out in an industry often focused on competition rather than collaboration. Huda also continued to push for more diversity in beauty campaigns. She worked with models of all shapes, sizes, skin tones, and backgrounds. Her message was clear: beauty has no single definition. Every person has their own unique version of it, and that is worth celebrating. As her influence grew, she began to see herself not only as a businesswoman, but as a change maker. She realized that her success gave her the power to shape the industry, to make it more open, more inclusive, and more inspiring for the next generation. But with more power came even more responsibility, and Huda knew she would have to make smart choices to protect her brand's future. As Huda Beauty grew, so did the challenges. Big companies with massive budgets were releasing products similar to hers, sometimes even copying her packaging and ideas. The beauty market was becoming crowded, and trends changed faster than ever. Huda knew she had to protect her brand's identity. She doubled down on quality, making sure every new product went through months of testing before launch. If something wasn't perfect, she delayed it, even if it meant losing sales. Her priority was trust. She had built it over years, and she wasn't going to risk it for quick profits. Another challenge was managing such a fast-growing business. The company had offices in several countries, hundreds of employees, and partnerships with stores around the world. Huda had to learn to delegate more and trust her team. At first, it was hard. She wanted to be involved in every tiny detail. But she realized that to grow, she needed to focus on strategy, creativity, and her connection with her audience. She also became more careful with collaborations. Many brands wanted to work with her, but she only chose partnerships that matched her values. If a company didn't share her commitment to diversity and quality, she said no, no matter how much money they offered. At the same time, she kept innovating. She released new makeup formulas, launched limited edition collections, and explored fresh ideas for skincare and fragrance. Her fans never knew what would come next, and that kept them excited. Huda also faced criticism at times. In the age of social media, one mistake could go viral in minutes. Instead of hiding, She faced it openly, explaining her side and apologizing when needed. This honesty helped her maintain respect, even during difficult moments. By protecting the core values of her brand: authenticity, inclusivity, and quality, Huda managed to keep her empire strong in an unpredictable industry. But she also began to think beyond beauty and toward building a legacy that would last long after she stepped away from the spotlight. Huda knew that even the most successful businesses eventually change or fade if they don't prepare for the future. She didn't just want Huda Beauty to be a brand of the moment, she wanted it to be a name people would remember for decades. She started thinking about legacy. What would people say about her and her work when she was no longer running the company? For Huda, it wasn't enough to be known for selling makeup. She wanted to be remembered for changing the way people saw beauty, for opening doors for others, and for making the industry more inclusive. To make this happen, she focused on three things: innovation, education, and empowerment. Innovation meant keeping Huda Beauty fresh and exciting. She invested in new technology, sustainable packaging, and cleaner formulas that were good for the skin and the planet. She wanted her products to be not only beautiful but also responsible. Education meant sharing knowledge. Huda created online masterclasses where she taught makeup techniques, business tips, and social media strategies. She opened these to people around the world, giving them tools to start their own beauty journeys. Empowerment meant using her platform to lift others. She launched initiatives to support young women in business, offering funding and mentorship to help them bring their ideas to life. She also worked with charities focused on women's education and equality. Huda understood that building a legacy wasn't about her alone, it was about the ripple effect she could create. If she inspired one young woman to follow her dream, that woman could inspire 10 more. In that way, her influence could continue long after she was gone. But there was still one final chapter in her story, a reflection on everything she had learned, and the message she wanted to leave for the world. Looking back, Huda could hardly believe how far she had come. From a shy girl in Oklahoma to a global beauty mogul, her journey had been full of risks, failures, victories, and lessons. She had built a brand loved by millions, but more importantly, she had built a community. She realized that makeup was never just about colors, products, or trends. It was about confidence. It was about helping people feel proud of who they are, no matter where they come from or what they look like. Her success was proof that passion, hard work, and staying true to your values could change your life. In interviews, she often shared the same message: don't wait for the perfect moment. There is no perfect moment. Start with what you have, where you are, and grow from there. Your dream is worth the risk. Huda continued to lead her brand with love and vision, but she also knew that her real achievement was inspiring others to believe in themselves. Her empire might have started with one pair of false eyelashes, but it had grown into something much bigger, a symbol of what's possible when you refuse to give up. And so, the girl who once doubted her path became a woman who shaped an industry, proved the doubters wrong, and showed the world that beauty is for everyone. Thank you for joining this inspiring journey through the life of Huda Kattan. Her story is a reminder that the road to success is not always straight or easy, but with passion and persistence, it can take you further than you ever imagined. Use this story not only to improve your English, but also to fuel your motivation. Because just like Huda, you have the power to start small, dream big, and create something extraordinary.